Johannes, what's your assessment, please?
Maybe the most difficult one for us at home so far this season. I think we struggled to find the rhythm in the game. I think we struggled to find the flow and the tempo that is needed to create chances and consistently put an opposition under pressure. I think we struggled with that, and I think most of the things we did out there today was on a too low level and too low speed. I think we took too many touches in situations where we should be able to do it faster, and that of course affected the performance. And then of course, on top of that, when it seems like every shot on goal the opposition have at the moment, it's a conceded goal for us, then it's even more difficult.
Is that, obviously we know about the injury situation and you've not used that as any mitigation, but is that a sense of it's been a gruelling week and that's just catching up with you, that performance? There wasn't that energy stamped through it, as you say?
No. There was no energy. There was no, what can I say? There was no desire. There was no all that extra it takes to be able to win a match here. We can talk about tactics and positions and whatever, but we still need to be able to bring that extra into a game to be able to win it. And it's maybe fair enough the moment that we're in, that some of the players they need that, because they are stretched to the limit, some of them, and are not supposed to be playing 3 games consecutively in a week like this, coming back from injuries or in the fitness state that they're in. But that's what we ask of them at the moment. So that's how it is.
I mean, you did start brightly. I think Marcondes has put that header against the post.
Yeah.
But when that first goal goes in, is there also that lack of confidence maybe in the group?
Yeah, that was a difficult one, because I actually think the start to the game was good for us, and I think it was promising. I think you mentioned the Marcondes shot on the post, which was a good run and a good pass in behind, and I think that was well played. And I think before that and also straight after that, we had some good opportunities, and it seemed like actually we came off to an okay start, and then more or less the first situation where we give the ball away and we don't deal well enough with the situations on their half to stop the counter. Then of course we concede more or less the first shot in the game.
And obviously Marcondes, you decided today you wanted to. I mean, we can see he's a very flexible footballer, but down the middle today, was that just you felt it was time maybe to give him a little go there, push Ante back to the right?
Yeah, obviously it's been a challenge for us to find the right constellation up front with the right players and types and profiles together. We have an informed player on the left side, but it seems like we need a little bit more from the 9 position and also from the right side. So we tried something new today. Of course, we still have limited options. It's not like we can just pick whatever we want here, but we tried that, and I think, it gave us an okay start. But of course, like the rest of the team, we needed that flow in the game, that good passing game, that tempo, that speed, that energy in everything we did out there, to be able to also put them into good situations.
And obviously, a boost that you were able to get Slimani back in this side of the break, was that just almost needs must? Did you feel it was worth taking the risk with him today?
Yeah, we had to do it because there's not too many other options, so we had to do it, and it was also, I think, a little bit difficult for him in there today, and I think that it comes back to that's the group that we have at the moment, with a lot of young players. We have to be able to still prepare in the best possible way from Monday to Friday with training sessions and consistently training and improving and developing in the way that we wanna do. We're not there yet where we can only focus on the games and then just keep them off the grass for 4 or 5 days in a row. It will not give us the performances that we need. So it's been a couple of weeks here with balancing all these situations in training and game and deloading or loading players, and it seems like we haven't got that right.
I mean, you didn't want to use the word survival sort of after the Sheffield game, but as it felt, you just touched on it there, maybe, that you've been in that mode, that you've just got to hang in there for these last sort of 5-6 games that you've gone through.
Yeah, which is not ideal, and also nothing that we expected. I think we we started well after the national break. We played a really good half in Stoke. Of course, didn't perform the best way in Preston, but still showed some courage and good mentality. And then the home performance out here against Middlesbrough, that was a crazy game. So we still thought that there was something going on here, and we were about to develop and be even better. But then, of course, the last 3 games for us has been really, really difficult, and we've been struggling. And yeah, I think actually the week coming up now with not so much activity in the training ground is okay for us.
Is there any concern on your part, even allowing for the injury situation, that drop in performance maybe between your frontline players and the ones who've come in, or has it, as you've said a few times, it'll give you a few answers about who's ready to step up?
It always gives us answers, but again, we need to think about that the better a team is performing, the better a team is playing, the better you will also look like as a striker or offensive player or a player who needs to decide the games for us. So it's all of it is a combination of so many things. But of course, obviously, we can see and have seen now in the previous 3 games that we struggle a little bit as a team when we don't have the experienced guys in there. We don't have our vice captain and Kenny in there. When we don't have some of the others, then we are a little bit vulnerable as a team, and it doesn't take much for us to be a little bit shaky or a little bit out of rhythm. And that's something where I hoped that we were maybe a little bit better, but it's also, I would still say, fair enough.
I mean, something there, the international break probably has now come at a good time, apart from the obvious one, which is getting some of them injured players back. Where do you feel your priority will be now this 2 weeks, you and your coaches? What will you focus on?
We have to look at the group. We have to look at the players we have available, so we can make the best possible plan after the break here, because it will be difficult matches for us again. And it's not like when we come back we just have everyone ready. Kenny will still not be able to be a part of the team against West Brom. There's still question marks around Marcelino. Josh will not be ready. Question marks about Angus maybe still. So it's not like we just meet in Monday in 9 days, and then everything is back to normal. So we have to use these games now to analyze and find out what can we actually do, because there's a probability that it will be the same players playing in West Brom in 14 days.
I mean, as you say, is it now about, as you said again after Sheffield, that we won't lower expectations as a group, but this is the reality right now, and I guess that would be a message you'd reiterate to the fan base as well, that this is the situation we're in now. It's tough, but in terms of where the end goal is, that hasn't changed.
The end goal is the same. I don't think anyone, especially not us working with this every day, expected that it will just be easy from day one, and there has been tough moments, and this is also one of them. I think the only thing we can actually do is just to deal with it and face it, and don't hide from it, and have some open and honest conversations with the players, but also staff, and whatever we need to do, so we make sure that we can be better. Again, we don't do it to blame, but we make sure, or have to make sure, that we can come off to a better start after the national break here. And if it's with the same group of players, then we trust them to do it. And if it's with a couple of more players back in the squad again, that will be good for everyone. Let's see.
Just final one from me. I mean, I presume it's obviously because the way you mapped it out, if Hernandez wasn't involved today, he wouldn't go away with Cuba. He wasn't involved, so do we assume he won't join up with Cuba now?
That's what I've heard for now. So of course, obviously, most players want to go away with the national team. So I think everyone tried to find out if there was actually a possibility. But no, of course, you have to be able to be ready to perform for your team before you can go.
Cheers, Johannes.
Johannes, just one from me. You used the free agent market to bring in Emi Marcondes. I know you've spoken about this before, probably not going to, but is the lack of a focal point up front making you wonder if that's an opportunity that you, or an area that you should be thinking about looking at? Is that a ball that is that something you'll consider?
Yeah, I think to be honest, I just think we have to deal with the situation that we're in. I don't think we can expect transfers or anything else. I think every team in the league, and no matter where you look, will be a little bit vulnerable if the injury suspension list is 10 players or more. So I don't think we get or we see something that we didn't expect, or at least we hope for better results. But I think all of us knew that this will be a tough moment and a tough time of the season for us, and that's what we see. We cannot just keep bringing in players, because when the rest are back fit again, then we end up having a squad with 35 players, and then that's also not ideal. So we have to come up with even better solutions, support the players even more and even better. See if we can get off to a week where we can have some more training sessions, and we can use this the next week to build up some energy and recovery for the players, so they can be ready again when we meet in. So we can have some training sessions, so we can start performing and start improving and start preparing in the best possible way. I think that's the only thing we can do. And then I cross my fingers that the guys that are out now will be back soon again, so they can support us, because up front, obviously Josh is out, but I think Emiliano did what he could today. But a guy like Ashley Barnes will also come back into the group, hopefully soon, so he can give us another option. We've also seen O'Neill playing as a 9 for us in the season, so that could also be an option. But of course, first priority is to get these boys back, so we have some options up front. But
can we expect Barnes and Hernandez to be available at some point in the next 2 weeks, month?
Yeah, that's the plan. Again, we have to be careful, and especially with players when they come back from long-term injuries, or when it's more than just a couple of weeks, then we have to be a little bit cautious on how we integrate them again into the team. But and again, that's the fine balance in the situation that we're in now, not to push them too hard. And I think actually we maybe pushed a guy like Anis in there a little bit too hard today, because he's been out for some time, but we needed him, and we needed him as an option in there for us. So it's always about that balance, and not doing stupid things just because we can see we need a result tomorrow. So hopefully more players will be available, and that gives us some other options.
Thanks.
Thank you, everybody.